Watch this. I am going to type one sentence into my browser. No download, no install, nothing. Build me a landing page for a coffee shop called Morning Ritual. Add a menu, hours, and a contact form. Look at that. A working website in my browser from one sentence. No software installed on my computer. That just happened. But here is the thing nobody warns you about. That is only one of 5 ways to use Claude Code. And most people pick the wrong one, then spend 45 minutes fighting errors instead of building. I know because I did. When I first tried Claude Code, Tech Twitter told me to use the terminal, so I opened it, typed a command I copied from a blog post, got an error, Googled the error, tried again, got a different error, my stomach dropped. 20 minutes in, I still had not written a single instruction. I was debugging the install instead of using the tool. Then I discovered the desktop app, 3 clicks, 47 seconds, done. The install is not the hard part. Knowing which door to walk through, that is what trips people up. There are 5 doors. In the next 14 minutes, I will show you every single one. I will tell you exactly which one fits you. And by the end, you will have your first instruction running, not tomorrow, tonight. Here is what we are working with. 5 installation methods, dead simple to developer level. Door 1, the web version. 0 install, open your browser and go. Door 2, the desktop app, my recommendation for 90% of people. Door 3, the terminal command, 1 line, for people who live in a terminal. Door 4, the VS Code extension, for developers already in that editor. Door 5, the JetBrains plugin, for Java and Python developers. One important thing before we start, Claude Code requires the Pro plan at $20 a month. The free plan does not include it. I am being honest about that upfront so you are not surprised later. $20, same as Netflix, and people have replaced tool stacks costing $200, $300 a month with this one subscription. Here is the promise. By door 5, you will know exactly which one is yours. No guessing, no Googling. Let us walk through every door. Door 1, the web version, go to claude.ai/code in your browser. That is it. You are in. No download, no installation. You get the same interface as the desktop app right there in Chrome or Safari or whatever browser you use. This is what I showed you 30 seconds ago. Who is this for? People who want to try Claude Code before committing. Chromebook users. Anyone on a shared computer. Students who cannot install software on a school laptop. The trade-off, it runs in your browser, not on your computer. You cannot access your local files and folders the same way the desktop app can. Think of it like test driving a car at the dealership. You get the feel, but you do not get to take it home yet. Great for trying, not for daily work. If you just want to see what the fuss is about, start here, right now. Pause this video and open it. I will wait. Door 2, the desktop app. This is the one. If you only remember one thing from this video, remember this. Go to claude.com/download. Click download, install it. You are done in 47 seconds. It works on Mac, it works on Windows. Windows support landed in February of this year. The app looks clean, familiar, like a chat window, nothing intimidating. Here is why I recommend this for almost everyone. The desktop app connects directly to your computer, your files, your folders, your projects. It is not stuck inside a browser tab. It lives on your machine like any other app you use every day. And it updates itself automatically. You never have to check for new versions or run update commands. It just stays current. A graphic designer in our community downloaded this app. 2 minutes later, she was building a portfolio website. Never touched a terminal in her life. That is the bar. If you can install Spotify, you can install Claude Code. Click download, click install, open the app. 3 steps. But what you see when you open it, this is the part that changes everything. This is the part nobody explains, and honestly, this is the most important 60 seconds of this entire video. When you open the desktop app, you see 3 tabs across the top: Chat, Cowork, Code, 3 tabs, and they are the reason 46% of developers call this the most loved AI tool on the planet. Ahead of Cursor, ahead of GitHub Copilot, ahead of everything. Tab 1, Chat. This is the Claude you already know. You type a question, you get an answer. Like texting a very smart friend. Need a recipe? Ask. Want to brainstorm business names? Ask. Confused about a tax form? Ask. This is regular Claude. Familiar territory. Tab 2, Cowork. Now things shift. Imagine someone sitting next to you at your computer. They can see your screen, they can move your mouse, open apps, fill out forms, organize your desktop. That is Cowork. It does not just talk to you, it does things on your machine. The first time I watched it move files around my desktop without me touching anything, I literally leaned back in my chair. Tab 3. Code. This is the power mode. Code lets Claude read and write files directly in a folder you choose. It understands your entire project, creates new files, edits existing ones, builds things from scratch. This is where agent skills live. Saved instructions that turn Claude into a specialized team member. Here is the simplest way to remember them. Chat is texting a friend. Cowork is an assistant at your desk. Code is a developer on your team. One tool, three completely different capabilities. That is why this is not just another chatbot. Let that sink in for a second. Most people install Claude Code and never leave the chat tab. They use it like ChatGPT. They miss the other 2/3 of what they paid for. Do not be that person. Now 3 more doors. And here is why you should care even if the desktop app is your answer. 63% of people building with AI coding tools right now are not developers, which means the people who understand all 5 doors, not just one, are the ones who pick the right tool for the right job. That is leverage. That is what separates someone who uses AI from someone AI works for. Door 3, the terminal command. If you know what a terminal is, this is the fastest install on the planet. One line, 20 seconds, done. On Mac or Linux, you open your terminal and paste one command. It downloads, installs, and configures everything. Type Claude and it opens. On Windows, you open PowerShell and paste a similar one-liner, same result. Here is my honest advice. If you had to Google what is a terminal right now, this door is not for you. Use the desktop app, zero shame in that. The desktop app does everything the terminal version does with a visual interface on top. But for developers, the terminal is where Claude Code becomes a weapon. You can chain it into scripts, automate entire workflows, run it headless inside CI pipelines. A full-stack developer I know runs the terminal version for complex multi-file tasks and the VS Code extension for quick inline edits. Best of both worlds. Door 4, the VS Code extension. VS Code is a code editor that millions of developers use every day. If you are one of them, you already know. If you have never heard of VS Code, skip this door entirely. For developers, go to the VS Code marketplace, search Claude Code, and install the extension. 10 seconds. Now Claude Code lives right inside your editor, inline code suggestions, visual diffs. You never have to leave the tool you are already working in. That two-tool combo, Terminal plus VS Code, is becoming the default setup for serious developers. And here is the interesting part. Even Microsoft, the company that owns GitHub and sells Copilot, a direct competitor, has adopted Claude Code internally for its own engineering teams. When the company selling the rival product switches to yours, you do not need any other signal. Door 5, the JetBrains plugin. If you write Java in IntelliJ or Python in PyCharm, this one is yours. Launched just last month, same marketplace pattern, search, click, done. If none of those words meant anything to you, this door was not built for you, and that is perfectly fine. 4 other doors are. So, which door is yours? Let me make this dead simple. Never installed anything from a terminal, desktop app. Door 2, that is your door. Just want to try Claude Code right now without installing anything, web version. Door 1, 5 seconds, developer who lives in a terminal. Door 3, one command and you are in. Developer who lives in VS Code. Door 4, add the extension. JetBrains. Door 5, add the plugin. And if you are not sure, pick the desktop app. You can always add the other doors later. They all connect to the same account, the same brain, the same $20 subscription. You are not locked into anything. That is important. Pick one now, expand later. Now that you have picked your door, you have installed Claude Code. Here is what to do in your first 60 seconds. Step 1. Open the app. If you pick the desktop app, it will ask you to log in with your Anthropic account. Do that. Step 2. Pick a folder. This is important. Claude Code works inside a folder on your computer. Pick one. Your documents folder, a project folder, an empty folder you just created. Any folder works. Step 3. Type your first instruction. Here is what I would type if I were you right now tonight. Create a simple budget tracker for my household. Add categories for rent, groceries, transportation, and subscriptions. Include monthly totals. Watch what happens. Claude Code reads your instruction, plans the approach, creates files, builds the tracker. You can open it and see a real working tool from one sentence. Your first sentence. You just gave your first instruction. That is the moment. You crossed from watching to doing. And that shift from someone who thinks about AI to someone who uses AI, that is worth more than any tutorial. Now, 3 mistakes that trip up every beginner. I want you to skip all of them. Mistake 1. Do not ask Claude Code to build your entire business in one instruction. Start small. One page, one feature, one task. Small instructions get better results than massive ones. Always. Mistake 2. Do not panic if it asks you a question back. That is normal. Claude Code sometimes wants to clarify what you mean before it starts building. Just answer it. It is a conversation, not a command line. Mistake 3. If you hit a usage limit, and you will eventually, that is actually a good sign. It means you have been productive for hours. Take a break, come back later, the limit resets. For most people on the $20 plan, you will not hit it during normal use. One more thing before you go. There is a file called CLAUDE.md. Think of it as a recipe card you hand your AI on day 1. You create it in any project folder. Claude Code reads it automatically every single time it starts working in that folder. Inside it, you write who you are, what the project is about, and how you like things done. 3 to 5 lines. That is it. And suddenly, Claude Code stops being a brilliant stranger and starts being a brilliant colleague who knows your style. We have got a full deep dive episode coming on this file. It is that important. For now, just know it exists. Create one tonight. Even 5 lines makes a difference. Remember the 5 doors I showed you at the start of this video? You now know every single one. You know which one is yours, and if you followed along, you are already installed. Here is what I want you to do tonight. Before you close your laptop, before you scroll to the next video, pick your door, install Claude Code, give it one instruction, just one, watch it work. Remember that terminal error I hit at the beginning? 20 minutes of frustration because I picked the wrong door? You just skipped all of that. In 14 minutes, you learned what took me a weekend of Googling to figure out. You are not someone who watches setup videos anymore. You are set up. You are ready. And the next video in this series walks you through your first real project from start to finish. 47 seconds. That is all that ever separated you from the other side, and now you are already there. I built a community called Agent Skills Academy on School. People share their setups, their first projects, and help each other get unstuck. Comment install below. I will send you the Claude Code install cheat sheet. It is a 1-page PDF with all 5 methods side by side. And if you want 50 real AI business ideas with income potential and exact tools, I put together a free cheat sheet. Link is in the description. Grab it tonight. AI is the great equalizer. $20 a month, plain English, no code required. Your door is open.